into the study of the Srimad Bhagavatam with His Grace, Purujit Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So we're reading from the first canto, 5th chapter, text number 32. Etat samsuchitam brahmansta patraya chikikshitam.
Itat samsuchitam brahmams tapatraya chikikshitam.
Yarishwari bhagavati karma brahmani babitam.
Yarishware bhagavati karma brahmani bhavitam. Itat samushitam brahmams.
Etat samsuchitam brahmans
Tapatraya chikikshitam.
tapatraya chikikshitam.
Yarishware bhagavati
Yarishwari bhagavati
karma brahmani bhavitam.
karma brahmani bhavitam. Etat,
Itat
this much.
this much.
Samsuchitam,
Samshuchitam.
decided by the learned.
Decided by the learned.
Brahmans,
Brahman.
O Brahman Vyasa.
O Brahmana Vyasa.
Tapatraya,
Tapatraya.
3 kinds of miseries.
3 kinds of miseries.
Chikikshitam,
Chikichitam.
remedial measures.
Remedial measures.
Yad,
Yat.
what?
What?
Ishvare,
Ishvare.
the supreme controller.
The Supreme Controller.
Bhagavati,
Bhagavati.
unto the personality of Godhead.
Unto the personality of Godhead.
Karma,
Karma.
one's prescribed activities.
One's prescribed activities.
Brahmani,
Brahmani.
unto the great.
Unto the great.
Bhavitam,
Bhavitam.
dedicated.
Dedicated.
Translation. O Brahmana Vyasa Deva, it is decided by the learned that the best remedial measure for removing all troubles and miseries is to dedicate one's activities in the service of the Supreme Lord, Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C.Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sri Narada Muni experienced it personally, that the most feasible and practical way of opening the path of salvation or getting relief from all miseries of life is to hear submissively the transcendental activities of the Lord from the right and bona fide sources. This is the only remedial process. The whole material existence is full of miseries. Thank you, Yadav Prabhu. The foolish people have manufactured out of their tiny brain many remedial measures for removing the threefold miseries pertaining to body and mind, pertaining to the natural disturbances and relation with other living beings. The whole world is struggling very hard to exist out of these miseries, but they do not know that without the sanction of the Lord, no plan or no remedial measure can actually bring out the desired peace and tranquility. The remedial measure to cure a patient by medical treatment is useless if it is not sanctioned by the Lord. We should know it certainly that the Lord is the ultimate sanctioning officer, and we must therefore dedicate our attempts to the mercy of the Lord for ultimate success, or to get rid of the obstacles on the path of success. The Lord is all-pervading, all-powerful, omniscient, omnipresent, and He is the ultimate sanctioning agent of all good or bad effects. We should therefore learn to dedicate our activities unto the mercy of the Lord, accept Him either as impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It does not matter what you are or what you be, but you must dedicate your everything for the service of the Lord. If you are a learned scholar, scientist, philosopher, poet, or something like that, then please employ your learning to establish the supremacy of the Lord. Try to study the energy of the Lord in every sphere of life. Do not decry him and try to become like him or to take his position simply by your fragmental accumulation of knowledge. If you are an administrator, statesman, warrior, politician, or anything like that, then please try to establish the Lord's supremacy in your statesmanship. Fight for the cause of the Lord as Sri Arjuna did. In the beginning, Sri Arjuna, the great fighter, declined to fight for his own satisfaction. But when he was convinced by the Lord that the fighting was necessary by his great will, Sri Arjuna changed his decision and fought for his cause. Similarly, if you're a businessman, an industrialist, an agriculturist, or something like that, then please spend your hard-earned money for the cause of the Lord. Think always that the money which you have accumulated is the wealth of the Lord. Wealth is considered to be the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi. And the Lord is Narayan, or the husband of Lakshmi. Try to engage Lakshmi in the service of Lord Narayan, and you will be happy. That is the way of realizing the Lord in every sphere of life. The best thing is, after all, to get relief from all material activities and engage oneself completely in the business of hearing the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. But in case of absence of such opportunity, we should try to engage everything for which we have specific attraction in the service of the Lord, and that is the way of peace and prosperity, and that is the way of remedial measure for all miseries of material existence. The word samsuchitam in this stanza is also significant. We should not think for a moment that the above realization of Narada was childish imagination only. It is not like that. It is so realized by the expert and erudite scholars, and that is the real import of the word samsuchitam. Om Adyan Tirinandasya Jnana Jana Shalakayam Chakshunan Miritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master, His Divine Grace, A.C.Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, has opened my darkened eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my humble obeisances unto His lotus feet. Jai Srila Prabhupada. So, here we see how much this hearing of the transcendental activities and pastimes of Krishna, how much it is important. Hare Krishna Tamis and James Gallagher and Lena Ga. Very interesting name you have. Prabhupada says here, the best thing is to get relief from all material activities and engage oneself completely in the business of hearing the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Neil, that's okay. Hari Bol. So this is Prabhupada is paraphrasing the verse from the Bhagavad-Gita. Sarva dharma parityajya mam ekam sharanam brajam. Am tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami masucha. Abandon all varieties of activities of religion. Simply surrender unto me, Krishna says. I shall liberate you from all miseries. Mokshayishyami masuchaha. Do not fear. I shall liberate you from all sinful reactions, from all karmic reactions. Do not fear. So this is the ultimate surrender. Hearing. Nobody wants to hear. Everyone wants to instruct. Oh, I know the truth. Listen to me. And we're making YouTube channels, we're making posts, we're writing. Now everyone is important. On the internet, everyone is important all of a sudden. Everyone can become important. Prabhupada says that even a foolish, insignificant man can become very important man by the propaganda of the modern mass media. So the internet makes it very, very fast. Any nonsense can become very prominent, and he's influencing the other people. So it becomes very difficult in such environments where everyone is encouraged to instruct, everyone is encouraged to be the guru, so to speak. It is very difficult to convince people to hear from a bona fide source, from a bona fide spiritual master. But that is the path of surrender. That we have to do. We cannot speculate on the subject of Krishna, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What you can speculate? Your mind is imperfect. Your mind is influenced by the modes of material nature. Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is situated in the Vishuddha Sattva stage. Purified goodness. Not just goodness, but purified goodness. You have to come to purified goodness. In the mode of goodness, there are still traces of passion and ignorance. In the Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna says that these modes of material nature, they compete with one another. One time the mode of passion is ruling. But since this is the material world, ever-changing, asat, temporary, that doesn't last for long. The mode of ignorance, it overpowers. Just like you see, sometimes people are in a mode of passion, very, very active, Hare Krishna Charles, and they create so much disturbance. In a mode of passion, Prabhupada compares it to a busy monkey. Mode of passion is like a busy monkey. He is very busy, he is very active, but because he is a monkey, he is simply creating disturbance. In Vrindavan, if you go to Vrindavan, the monkeys, they're very skillful. And sometimes they steal your glasses. They steal your glasses, they steal your bead bag also. And then you have to buy a chapati in the market and you have to bribe him. Oh, take a chapati and you give me back my glasses. They do deals like that, the monkeys. Very intelligent. Don't think that the monkey is... how they can argue like this, that the animals have no soul. How foolish they are. So even a computer cannot do this. Computer cannot steal your glasses and then bargain with you. You can make a robot, he will never do that. This quality of rascaldom, that is coming from the spirit soul. The element of surprise, the element of breaking the rules. See, the computer is simply following the rules. Vaidhi Bhakti. Vaidhi, rules and regulations. So, there's a rascaldom, that is the quality of the spirit soul. That he can break the rules because he's independent. He's independent, he has freedom. So, these monkeys, they bargain with you, and then you give them chapati, he throws you your glasses back, or your bee bag, or not. He takes a chapati, takes another one, and then he throws your glasses in the Yamuna, something like that. So a person who is in mode of passion, he also creates disturbance like this. But the mode of passion cannot go forever. We know from the Bhagavad-Gita that the happiness in a mode of passion is very sweet in the beginning. Oh, very sweet. Lots of passion. We accumulate. Lots of ideas. Lots of ambition. But the happiness in mode of passion at the end is bitter, like poison. Very bitter. You go high, and then you fall down and you break your neck. This is mode of passion. And when it happens, when we experience this bitterness, then we come to the mode of ignorance. Mode of ignorance means no taste for anything. Laziness, lethargy, depression. Like that. This is mode of ignorance. Prabhupada defines the mode of ignorance in the Bhagavad-Gita. He says that a person, he is always procrastinating. He's supposed to do something that takes 5 seconds. 5 seconds. It takes 5 seconds to do. But it will take him 1 month to accomplish. This is mode of ignorance. Slow, very slow. You can observe yourself. Chanting the 16 rounds, right? It can be done early in the morning, immediately. Get it out of the way. But we're lazy. Oh, I can do it later. I'll do later my chanting. And the next thing you know, it's midnight. And your rounds are not done. You fall down. You see, that's why we have to follow all these different rules and regulations prescribed by Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna Brahm. Manda. What is that manda? Manda is
lazy.
Lazy. Okay, yes, very good. Thank you. Manda sumanda matayo. Especially in the age of Kali Yuga. People are very lazy in the question of self-realization. They don't care. Rather, they will laugh. Oh, look at these fools. They discuss some spirituality. Oh, look at these fools and rascals. How they're wasting their time. They think there is some God. Ha ha ha. They're so naive. People think like that. They think if you are practicing spiritual life, you are a loser. We know that. We're not foolish. We know that people think like that. We're not in illusion that people think very highly of the devotees. We're not so foolish. We understand. Dukalayam ashashvatam. Jivasya jiva jivanam. This world is full of misery and temporary, no happiness. If you're experiencing happiness, if you're happy, oh, I'm so happy. What is that? What is it? Anybody knows? Maya. That is Maya. That is the grace of Maya. That in the illusion, you can have an illusion of happiness. And you can have a little joy. I am so happy. But as soon as the illusion breaks, then you realize, oh, I'm a fool number one. You become disappointed. Just like Arjuna. He became disappointed, disillusioned. He had lots of ambition, right? But when that passion, of course, Arjuna was not in the mode of passion. But just to illustrate the example, when he realized that he could not enjoy the kingdom because all his family members would be killed in the war, then he became disillusioned. What is the use? What is the use? Lethargic. Krishna is very much chastising him. Give up this nonsense, lethargy. Go and fight. Why are you attached to the result? The result belongs to me, not to you. Whether you win or whether you lose, that is my business, not yours. Go and fight without attachment to the result. Krishna is chastising him like anything. Right? This is why the Bhagavad-Gita is so inspiring, so essential. Prabhupada says that if you simply read this Bhagavad-Gita very thoroughly, if you read every day one chapter, you become a great preacher of Krishna consciousness. Because all the Siddhantas, everything is in the Bhagavad-Gita. Bhagavad-Gita, Shankaracharya is glorifying the Bhagavad-Gita. Let there be one scripture in the world, Bhagavad-Gita. So many nice glorification in the Gita Mahatmya. Shankaracharya is glorifying the Bhagavad Gita. He's an impersonalist, right? He is an impersonalist, Shankaracharya, but he is glorifying the Bhagavad Gita so much. And he has admitted, Narayana Parabhyakta. Narayan, Krishna, is beyond this material manifestation. That means that his personality is transcendental. Although the Mayavadis, they think that Krishna's body is illusion, is made of matter. Shankaracharya, the founder-charya of Mayavad Sampradaya, he admits, yes, Narayan Paravyakta. Para means transcendental. It's transcendental to this creation. That means that his body is Satchitananda Vigraha. It is full of eternity, knowledge and bliss. It is not made of matter. And at the end of his life, Shankaracharya also, Bhaja Govinda, Bhaja Govinda, Bhaja Govinda, Mudhamati. Your grammar, your logic, your Hare Krishna floor, they will not save you at a time of death. Because the Mayavadis are very expert in juggling the words. They juggle. They do word jugglery. Interpreting, taking, chopping down meanings, trying to squeeze out the Mayavad idea from the Shastra. So Shankaracharya chastised them that this will not save you at the time of death. But if you worship Govinda, Bhaja Govinda, Bhaja Govinda, Bhaja Govinda, that will bring you perfection. You see, so that instruction they do not follow. So the surrender here, what is surrender? Surrender means hear the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. This hearing and nothing else. If we simply hear from the bona fide source, from a bona fide Acharya Srila Prabhupada, if you simply do that, it is perfect. It is perfect. In the 7th canto, Prahlad Maharaj names 9 processes of devotional service. A few days ago, we had a quiz here. I was asking the devotees to remember all these 9 processes. So, it is not that one has to practice all the 9 to attain perfection. Because they're on the absolute platform, even if you practice one of them, you will reach perfection. You can practice either 1, 2, 3, or all of them, all of the 9. Like Maharaj Ambarish, he was practicing all the 9. Hearing, chanting, meditating, remembering. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma Nivedanam. But even if you practice one of them, just like hearing, you can achieve perfection. You see? It is not an insignificant thing, hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the process of devotional service, the most important process. Srila Prabhupada says that if this hearing is defective, how can hearing be defective? Either we hear from a rascal, from a Mayavadi or Sajya or non-devotee, Mudha, so-called guru, and we get misunderstanding, milk touched by the lips of a snake. Someone who's challenging the position of the spiritual master, minimizing his position, his transcendental position. Let's say someone says, oh, Srila Prabhupada, he was a nice old man. He's an offender. He's a snake. Anyone who says Prabhupada is an old man, he's a snake. Why? Because Srila Prabhupada is on a transcendental platform. His body is also just like Krishna's. It is Sat Chit Ananda. Eternal, full of bliss, full of knowledge. He's not an old man. You might see with your rubbish eyes. Our eyes are rubbish because they're imperfect. I turn off the light, you cannot see anything. You cannot see with your material eyes transcendence. You cannot see Krishna. That is not the way how to see Krishna. You can see by hearing. Shastra Chakshusha. We should become Shastra Chakshushas. Shastra Chakshusha means one who sees through the Shastra. Through the Shastra. For example, I do not know anything about car engines. I don't know anything. I never drove car in my life. If a car breaks down, I don't know what to do. So let's say I open the car and I see the engine. I have no idea. I see one big mess. So I am seeing the engine. Now the mechanic comes and he knows the skill very nicely. He knows how to fix cars. He knows how every single tube works. So when he looks at the car, he sees not a mess. He sees, oh, there's a flaw here. There's a leakage here. Let me fix it nicely. So my seeing and his seeing are two different, right? There are two different types of seeing. What is the difference? The engineer, the mechanic has heard, he has read the books about car fixing. He has heard, and that's why he can see. That's why he can see what the engine actually is. I cannot see the engine. I see a mess. I don't know what is what. He can see, oh, this battery here, there's a water here, this is the container for gas, or I don't know exactly, So he can see everything very clearly. Similarly, an advanced devotee, he can understand about the nature of an advanced devotee. And a neophyte devotee or an offender, he cannot understand anything because he doesn't hear. You see? So the hearing is very, very important. We must hear from a bona fide source. And second condition for effective hearing is that we must understand the subject matter. Not that simply hearing like a dog. Dog is also hearing. We must understand what it means. That is why we're holding these classes on the Srimad Bhagavatam, on Srila Prabhupada's instructions. It is good that we are reading Srila Prabhupada's books. That is very nice. But we must also understand the meaning. It is not a ritual that we just go on like you see all these brahmanas in India, right? They just chant the mantras, Om Nana, Om Nani, Om Nani, Om Nana, making a big show. Of course, we don't say that this is useless. This is auspicious. Chanting Vedic mantras, this is auspicious. But if I'm simply chanting like a machine, if I'm simply chanting like an automatic machine, then what is the purification? I can just play the computer. He will also play mantras. Am I a computer? No. I am a spirit soul. I have the element of rascaldom, right? That element of independence. Either I can choose to be a rascal, or I can choose to be an elevated devotee. Right? So by our freedom, by our independence, I decide to understand what the Guru says. That is by your independence. No one can make you understand except yourself. Even the Guru cannot make you understand. Even he cannot make you understand. It is not a magic that the Guru comes, he puts his hand on your head and there's an electric shock and then all the knowledge comes. These are bogus stories, myths. If someone told you such a thing, that this is how the transcendental knowledge is passed down through some living Guru, so-called living, he's a dead corpse walking. If he's speaking such nonsense philosophies, he's a dead corpse walking. He's not a living Guru. Then you immediately reject such bad association. That is not the process. The process is spiritual initiation. We must take initiation from the spiritual master. We must receive the Bhakti Lata Bija. We must plant it into our hearts. The spiritual master is initiating the whole world. That disciple, he was remembering, maybe some of you know, Vaikuntanath Prabhu, an early disciple of Srila Prabhupada. You know the story? No? He was lamenting, asking Srila Prabhupada, that Srila Prabhupada, we're distributing so many books, but if these people are not initiated, they cannot go back to Godhead. What to do? They were distributing, even now, Srila Prabhupada's books. They're being distributed every year. Millions of books are being sold all around the world. This is tremendous auspicious activity that this book distribution is going on. If you have the courage, I encourage you, if you have the courage, I don't need to encourage you. But if you have a little inspiration, please kindly try this book distribution. If you're not so courageous to go on the street, face the people, distribute Srila Prabhupada's books to your friends, to your family members, to your colleagues, to your girlfriend, boyfriends, whatever, whoever, your children. It is very, very auspicious. This Vani of Srila Prabhupada is being spread all around the world. It creates a tremendous auspicious atmosphere. People might not know. They might never read the books, whatever. But the very act of book distribution is pushing the mission forward. He might not read the book, but he might give it to someone else. Or he might just open it up and read one line. Even that is very, very, very powerful. Very powerful. Prabhupada says, even if they read one line, their life is a success. So anyway, this devotee was lamenting. We have distributed millions of books, but there are only so many initiated devotees, not so many. Nicolina is responding. You have distributed any books, Nicolina? Yes, Hare Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada said, simply by reading my books, they're initiated. He said like that. Srila Prabhupada, they're initiated. Srila Prabhupada is so merciful. So merciful. Generally, the etiquette is that the Guru should not instruct those who are not ready to submit. They're not ready to take the instruction. So the Guru, he refrains from instructing. Just like Krishna, right? We were discussing last time on a Zoom session. Those of you who have attended, you remember. Krishna is simply smiling because Arjuna is not surrendering. Krishna is simply smiling. Well, actually, that is after he surrendered. But Krishna was silent. He was not instructing until Arjuna came to a complete desperation, helplessness, hopelessness, complete inactivity. I do not know what to do. I don't know whether I should fight or whether I should retreat. Complete chaos. Only at that point Krishna began to instruct. So a spiritual master, yes, Nicolina distributed to her friends and family. So nice. So nice, Nicolina. You're glorious. You're glorious for doing this. Krishna will never forget your service. Rest assured. So generally this is the etiquette. You do not instruct unless there's a disciple, he surrenders. Many times I see this. Devotees are instructing, oh, it is like that. There was some person on the group, the Bliss family group, and he would simply write comments to all our posts. He would simply write his comment of instruction. Yes, do like that, it is nice. No, you should not do like that. Offer such and such. Chant like this, like that. Did anyone ask you for your advice? There might be a bona fide advice, but if no one is asking you to give the instruction, why are you instructing? That is the proof that you're not qualified to instruct, because a qualified spiritual master does not instruct those who are unwilling to hear. Right? Because he will waste his time. The time is precious. If I'm supposed to instruct people who are not ready to hear, then I'm wasting my time that I could have utilized nicely by instructing those who are willing. But greatly elevated souls, just like Srila Prabhupada, but also others, Jesus Christ, Lord Buddha, Prophet Muhammad, and so on, they are the Jagat Gurus. Jagat means the world. They're the world acharyas. They preach to the whole world for many, many generations. They're so big, so grand, so powerful. So Srila Prabhupada, I'm initiating everyone through my books. So that is one stage of initiation. Yes. Now the second stage of initiation, you must be willing to take it. The Bhaktilata Bija in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the initiation or the process of advancement in Krishna consciousness is compared to the kripa. There's a kripa, a plant of devotion is growing from your heart. So the beginning is you receive the seeds of devotional service from the spiritual master. He gives you the inspiration through sound, through hearing. Then you have to plant it in your heart. That you have to do it. Plant it in your heart. So when we hear, we must get the meaning. And if we get the meaning, if we truly understand, we will act on it. You see? You will act on it. That is called initiation. That the spiritual master is instructing, but you must respond. It's a relationship. It's not dogma. It's not that the spiritual master just gives you some dogma and so on. It's a question and answer. Atatu Brahma Jigyasa. Would you like to serve Krishna? Yes, I would like to serve Krishna. How would you like to serve Krishna? Another disciple was remembering. He described Srila Prabhupada in this way. That Srila Prabhupada was not a type of a dictator personality. He wouldn't give his disciples some tasks that you do this, you do that, and then control them, micromanage them. Prabhupada would simply explain the science of Krishna consciousness And then the disciples, out of their own initiative, they would come forward. Prabhupada, can I do this? Maybe we could meet the Beatles. Can I go to England and meet George Harrison and convince him to compose the My Sweet Lord song? So Prabhupada said, yes, why not? Do it. See, the Super Soul, the Paramatma, he is inspiring the disciple. There is an intimate relationship, the Guru and the Paramatma. The Guru is actually the external manifestation of the Paramatma. So the Paramatma, the Super Soul, Ishvara Sarabhutanam Haddesha Arjuna Tishtati, he is inspiring us. He is giving us different ideas how we can serve Krishna. And if we don't want to serve Krishna, again, the Paramatma is inspiring us how to get our material desires fulfilled. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hardesha Arjuna Tishtati Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani Yantra Rudani Maya. The living entity is seated as though on a machine. He has no control. The machine is going on by the arrangement of Krishna. You can desire, I want to be a dog. Yes, okay, so go and eat meat, act like a nonsense, act like a dog. Yes, yam yam bapi smaran babam. At the time of death, you think of a dog, you become a dog. Yes. Similarly, if you, by your free will, you decide, yes, I want to serve Krishna. This is a very nice proposal. Prabhupada says that, suppose I give you a situation where your body is eternal, full of knowledge, full of pleasure, and you can live in a world when there's no death. Would you accept such proposal? Unless you're a damn fool, rascal number one, you must accept it. Right? So the spiritual master, he's trying to convince us, yes, there is such a place. Krishna Loka. With Krishna, you can have that sort of kind of situation. If we become convinced, yes, I want to do like that. That is co-initiation. We become convinced, yes, this is a nice proposal. Now, what do I do in order to get that? Yes, chant 16 rounds. Follow the 4 regulative principles. Read my books, like that. Then Srila Prabhupada is instructing. But you have to make that initial step. So, we all individually, we have to understand the message of Srila Prabhupada in his books. That is why we're holding these classes. So the doubts can be clarified. Doubts must be there. One who doesn't have doubts, he's a fool. It's a fool number one. You must have doubts. Doubts are the signs of intelligence. But we should not keep the doubts. Oh, I have many doubts, but whatever. They will disappear somehow. I don't know how. No. You must clarify. Atato Brahma Jigyasa. So we must be inquisitive. That is the topmost important quality of a disciple, Jigyasu. So if we fulfill these conditions of bona fide hearing from the Acharya, bona fide source, and with sincerity, sincerity means we must understand the meaning. We might not understand the full meaning, but at least we should be eager to understand the meaning. Then Krishna will inspire us from the heart. Tesham satatam yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam puriyogam dadamitam yenamam upayantite. Those who are serving me with love and devotion. Here Prabhupada says, very important. If you do not have such opportunity that you can go on hearing and hearing and hearing, we should try to engage everything for which we have specific attraction. We all have some kind of a talent, some kind of a propensity. I know that Eleonora, I saw, she is very nicely sewing. She's very, very good at sewing things. So she can sew for Krishna, very nice things for the deities, or like that. Or if you like to write, if you're a good writer, then you can write articles on the science of Krishna consciousness. Let people read nice articles. Make Krishna consciousness attractive. It is attractive, but if you use your propensity, something that you like to do, everyone, is happy when he's engaged in his propensity. That is happiness. To serve in your propensity. You're just like a fish in water. Oh, I like to sew. I like to read. I like to write. I like to paint. My Chair Prabhu likes to cook. So he's very happy when he can cook. Then you're serving Krishna with love. Then we're serving Krishna with love. You see? And when we're serving Krishna with love, then Krishna will give us the required intelligence, how to understand the science of Krishna consciousness. So, yes, this is how we can defeat all the miseries. How we can solve all the miseries. This devotional service is yatamam suprasidati. Gives the satisfaction to the soul. All our miseries are simply caused by this one misunderstanding. We try to satisfy the eternal soul with temporary measures. That will never be possible. You can never be happy in this material world. Again, you take the fish out of the water, you can give it nice food, you can fan it, the fish will dry out. This is our position. We're trying to constantly think of the material adjustment. No, in order to serve Krishna, I have to do this and that. In order to serve Krishna, I need to change my position. In order to serve Krishna, I have to change my ashram. I'm not supposed to be Brahmacharya, I must be Grihastha. Oh no, I made a mistake, I must be a sannyasi. Oh. No. That will never be successful. We should simply think how to engage in the service of Krishna. So, if we do not know our propensity, if we're confused, then go on hearing. Go on hearing from Srila Prabhupada. Try to understand the message. Try to clarify the meaning. It will come. Krishna will give you that intelligence. Rest assured. So, I'll stop here. Are there any questions? Yes, Eleonora, she's getting requests to sue for the deities. I am not surprised. I am not surprised. Okay. Next Prabhu's, he writes, frogs in a well, because they see materially, they have no clue of ever-expanding spiritual bliss. Mudhas, let them enjoy the fun, material immortality. Yes. My doubt is, it's very hard to go back home, back to Godhead. I just don't see myself becoming perfect in devotion, not in a million years. So how can that doubt be clarified? Okay, well, there are various reasons. First of all, we don't understand Krishna. We don't understand Krishna. We think of Krishna as we think of ourselves. Because we're envious, we're full of hate, and we're motivated, and we're simply exploiting others for our sense gratification in the name of love and compassion and relationship, and so everyone is thinking of his own ambition. We also think of Krishna in this way, and that's why we project this idea on Krishna, that Krishna, he actually doesn't want us to go back home, back to Godhead. He doesn't want, this is our doubt. that Krishna is actually evil. Krishna made it difficult. Krishna is putting obstacles into our path. So we must understand the nature of Krishna. Krishna is transcendental. He doesn't have any, I would say, he doesn't have any agenda. Krishna, that is the only thing he desires. So we go back to Godhead. So he gave everything, whatever process he has given is perfect. It's complete and perfect. Om Purnam Adaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnat Udachyate Purnasya Purnamare Purnamevava Shishate. Everything is perfect. So this process of Harinam Sankirtan is also perfect. You must have that faith that this process is perfect. Otherwise, you cannot take up the process. Right? You cannot come to the perfection of the process. If you have a doubtful, well, is it really working? So again, the same remedy. Go on hearing. Go on hearing from Srila Prabhupada. You become convinced about Krishna's loving nature, and you become convinced about the perfection or the completeness of the process that Srila Prabhupada is giving us. Everything is ultimately lack of faith. We have lack of faith, and that is due to our association with matter. It is very difficult to recover from this foreign nature, Prabhupada says. So go on hearing and go on associating with devotees who are perfectly situated in love of Godhead, love of Krishna. Deborah is asking how to find the right ashram for ourselves. Well, I explained that is not very important. This is your ashram, whether you're married or not married, is a material consideration. So whatever is suitable for you. There are challenges in the Grihastha ashram. There are challenges in the Brahmacharya ashram. You cannot cheat. You have to surrender, either this way or that way. But generally speaking, the Brahmacharya is recommended for everyone. Try it out. Try to control your senses. And then if you cannot, then you marry and live like a gentleman. Take care of your wife, have children, educate them in Krishna consciousness. So try the Brahmachari. Then if it doesn't work, go for the Grihastha. Don't go for Grihastha immediately without practice of Brahmacharya. That will be a disaster. Okay, there are many questions. Thank you, Prabhus. Jean says, love is everything. Undoubtedly, yes. Gordana Mataji. I hope it's Mataji, right? Gordana. How to approach Bhagavad-Gita without Guru? I'm having fear of my personality who can lead me to misunderstanding. Yeah, without a Guru you cannot approach the Bhagavad-Gita. But one thing you have to understand, that if we're not serious, even the Guru cannot help us. So you should not be afraid of your personality. Your personality is pure. That is, your personality is the soul. The soul is perfect, pure. Don't be afraid. But there are also doubts we have, or false ideas and false designations. So this will be clear. You'll be able to see if you go on hearing from Srila Prabhupada. Go on reading, and it will be obvious. In the beginning, we can't see the distinction, so we become fearful. But if you go on hearing, if you gain transcendental knowledge, you'll be able to distinguish. Oh, this is my ego, this should not be done. And this is my true spiritual desire, I should cultivate it. It will be self-explanatory. Just like if you take food, you don't need any certificate to say that you are satisfied. You know it yourself. So when you become knowledgeable about Krishna consciousness, it will be self-explanatory. So in the beginning, yes, there is a fear, because fear is due to ignorance. We're in ignorance. But we have to go on hearing. This is how we get knowledge. Just like a student in class. He is ignorant. He doesn't know what is ABCD, what is mathematics, nothing. So what should he do? Should he just stop the study? No. He goes on hearing from the teacher. The teacher says, it's like this, it's like that. And slowly, 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 he will become very intelligent student. Does it make sense, Gordana? Is that okay? Does it answer your question? You cannot be without a guru. You're always guided by someone. Your mother, your father, your teacher, your internet, Google, this, always. You're always accepting some guru. So, but we must choose the bona fide guru. Just like our Srila Prabhupada, he's a bona fide guru. So if you hear from Srila Prabhupada, you will not have any doubts. Brahm Prabhu says, are there different calibers of guru? Jagat gurus like Prabhupada and normal gurus? Yes. Actually, Prabhupada says that the guru might be of a lesser degree, but it doesn't matter. You can learn from him also. What is important, that the guru repeats the message as it is. That is why so much emphasis Prabhupada gave on this concept of as it is. As it is. Jarida kutari kao Krishna upadesh. Amara agyana guru tara edesha. This is the order of Lord Chaitanya, that everyone, you all become gurus. How? By repeating Krishna Upadesh, Bhagavad-Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Don't speculate. Simply present what Krishna has said. You become a guru. You might not be very elevated. You might not be a Mahabhagavat, great devotee. But if you repeat the message, then you are engaging in a great preaching mission. And you are assisting Krishna and Lord Chaitanya and Srila Prabhupada in his mission. So this should be done. Become truly a living guru, in the sense that the knowledge is being transmitted through you. And of course, you should also live by the instructions. Okay. Nice, Prabhu is satisfied. Davor also. Okay, Prabhus, thank you so much. If you have any more questions on the topic, please don't hesitate to message Maitreya Prabhu. He will guide you more. And I'll see you tonight at 7 o'clock. Now, Beyond Birth and Death study on Zoom. Please join us. Please come. Don't be shy. It's a lot of fun. Let's expand our association. Let's expand. We'll get more enthused. And we all go back home, back to Godhead at the end of our life. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nithai Gaura Premanandi, Hari 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 Bol. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishtai Bhutale Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Guru Mani Vrachadina Nirvishishna Vari Bhakshati Staride. Jai Srila Prabhupada.